You do things you're not supposed to do. I pray for people all the time to come to Jesus. Well, hello, my name is Heather, and I'm here to talk about, Jesus and God today. Well, it actually looks really good, and what it has inspired me so much more is because of you. And, people don't understand how it feels until you get saved. I mean, it's just like you're over the clouds, and you're just like, it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling, and I feel sorry for people that don't know who Jesus is. I've been saved for a long time, and when the girls' dad passed away about 20 some years ago, I just had them two with me, 8 and 10, and I didn't really know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to raise them, but God stepped in and He helped. I look back at my life that He helped, but at first, I was angry with God. I thought, why did you take my husband? Why? And I know there's a reason, but it's just, I don't know. It's just this wonderful feeling like you're on cloud 9, like you're walking the clouds. And I had a dream right before Kevin had passed away. And the dream was Jesus came to me in this dream, carrying me. And then a couple weeks later, he passed away. So I knew that it was Jesus carrying us, through. And there was something that really, kind of got me when Kendra, my youngest one, she quite didn't understand. She thought her daddy had went up to heaven to help Jesus the carpenter. So she was telling me about that story one day, and she was 8 years old, and that just got me, And then she told me that Jesus would take care of her daddy. And I remember the time that when he did pass away, his boss came to the house, and the bosses said, he's gone. And I thought, I didn't understand about all that. But anyway, I remember Caitlin saying something to me. Everybody had left, and she says, Mom, she says, don't worry. She says, God will take care of all three of us. And, she was 10 years old. And it's just amazing how God works in your life. I thought there for a long time is a bad thing, but now as I'm looking at it now, everything's okay because of God and because of Jesus. He's the only ones that can get you through anything in life. It wasn't very good. You do things you're not supposed to do. Lots of, there was things that I did that were really horrible that some of it I just don't want to discuss, but it's bad. Some of the stuff was really bad, tragically. Well, I don't do it now, but it's just something that it's a sin and you're not supposed to do it. People who have Jesus will know that. I don't feel that good. I get guilt. I feel guilt sometimes about it. I think, oh, you don't need that, Heather, But a lot of it, I would say, is just guilt. Well, He's my Lord and Savior. I actually just watched The Passion of the Christ the other night. And oh my gosh, I think I went through almost a box of Kleenexes because people don't realize what Jesus has done for you. It was a really good movie, but seeing it, you always heard it at church, listening to it all that time, when I was growing up in church, you always read the Bible, you always went to Sunday school, and but I encourage everybody to watch that movie because it's a really good movie. Well, I pray every day. I just pray all day long and just say, God, help me, because if I want to go to the store and I know I don't need that or something, and then I'll say, it's in the back of my head, God's telling me, you don't need that today. So, stuff like that. But God has done a lot of blessings in my life. I do believe that you have tragedies in your life and you overcome them to go to, God. Things get better when you are saved. I'm not saying, I don't have a perfect life. I'm not a perfect Christian. But I do say that, when you are saved, and it's just like, I think we all get a lesson. We get taught on how to really try to do better than, what we are once we are saved. But I do believe that tragedy will come into blessings, because I've seen I've seen a lot of blessings in my life and in my family, especially. I have 2 wonderful children and 2 wonderful granddaughters. And I don't know what I'd do without them, because I believe that that's the best thing I've done in my life is to have those two of my daughters in my life, and I'm glad that they both know Jesus. There's been times that I financially struggled, and the next few days there was the money, and it was from Him, because He knew we needed it. Oh yeah, He touches my life every day. He carried me through when the girls' dad passed away. He carried me through that a lot. And when I was younger, I had asthma. I still do, but I remember I had it so bad that I had to be on breathing machines and stuff. But I had it so bad that I remember one day I forgot to take my medicine, and I was so sick, and I remember just falling down in the kitchen floor. And then the next thing I know, I was in the emergency room. I think I was 16 years old. And I woke up, and the doctor told me that, "You're really lucky, Heather. They were trying to, I guess, revive me." And I remember waking up, and the doctor told me, he goes, "Heather, you're one lucky girl." And I said, "Yeah, I am." And I knew it was God. God wasn't ready for me yet. I think some people, yeah, maybe a little, but people that are Christians, a lot of people will call you like a hypocrite, and they will just sit there and say, "Well, aren't you supposed to be perfect?" No, you're not supposed to be perfect. But I feel like sometimes, I've been judged. I have been judged several times. And I think that's why the society nowadays is I think that's why people don't want to go to church. When you walk in the door, that's the Lord's house. You're supposed to welcome everybody, and I do understand that. I mean, sometimes it is hard to be a Christian, people will make fun of you, and it's not right, and I feel sorry for those people out there that do not know Jesus. I pray for people all the time to come to Jesus, because that's the only way, because there is a heaven and there is a hell, and people think there's not, but there is. And it's just, you just gotta keep believing and just pray for the people out there that really need Him, because there's just so many souls out there that needs to be saved. Oh, I would tell them that Jesus loves them. And then I would tell them about my salvation experience. And I would tell them, I would invite them to church, so they could kind of, see what Jesus is all about. Every day He talks to me, tells me what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. I don't think that's true at all. I hear it. I can hear Him, but I do believe, and I believe that if you're a Christian, that He does speak to you, and He will tell you, what's right, what's wrong. I mean, as Christians, we struggle every day. I'm sure you know that. You're getting it. You understand that. But we have to just try to keep going, and just ignore the devil, because that's most of it is the devil. But God overconquers the devil every time. No, it's not a joke. It's true. It is true. It's in the Bible, and I don't think people should be laughing about it. And in this day and age, I know He's coming back. The Lord's coming back, and I believe that people need to be saved, because if they're not saved, they're going to go to hell. And there's Satan, and he tries to intimidate the ones that are saved. Now Satan does. I think he's harder on Christians than he is on just people that have not been saved yet. Well, I like, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever should believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life." I've always liked that verse. John 3:16. Invite them to church and let them see firsthand what church is all about. I would tell them, if there's finances out there going on, abuse, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, he can take all that away from you. You just got to surrender and let him do it. And God is there too to help you get through all this. I thank God for his son for dying on the cross for me. And it's just it's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling in your heart that you know where you're going.
My God, I give to you for every day and every breakthrough. Your love's a light that guides my way. Your care leads me through each day. For all I've lived, I just wanna say, your grace sustains me, shows me the way. Your plan is perfect, Now I see, your hand has led and carried me. Gratitude, my God.